Hello and welcome. So today I'm going to be making my mix, and I thought I'd just bring you along with me. Now, this is not a tutorial on how to make a mix. This is just me making my mix. I will share the ingredients and everything, but I highly recommend that you join the Shunamite Diet USA Facebook group if you are also interested in making a mix, because it has all the information you could need. And there's a lot of people in there who will help you curate your mix specifically to your rats. I cannot do that, unfortunately. I cannot help you with your individual rats. So again, this is not a tutorial. This is just me making my mix, which is curated to my rats. So anyway, I start out by just scooping everything out and basically emptying the container. You don't have to do this. I think most people just put the new mix on top of the old mix, but I personally cannot stand doing that. Also, you will notice that I am talking to Cappy, who is behind the camera, but I never intended for this to be like me talking while doing the mix itself. So yeah, just ignore that. Now, as an additional note to make, if you do want to do the Shunamite diet, you will also need supplements. So I get Daily Essentials 1 and Calci Boost, which are both water-soluble supplements that I give my rats 3 times a week. And for me, I try to get more fortified ingredients so that I don't have to do it more often. But if you can't get any of the base mix ingredients, you can do a straight grains ingredients mix, but you will have to do vitamins more often. Again, this is why I highly recommend joining the USA or Shunamite Diet USA group. Even if you're not in the USA, they can help you. They have a lot of information for Australia and I think also Canada. But yeah, I highly recommend joining that. And finally, the Shunamite diet is a volume-based mix, not a weight-based mix. So basically what that means is there's 20 scoops in each mix. I use a cup, a measuring cup for my scoops because they're easy to divide and stuff, and I just go from there. Alright, now that I am finally done scooping everything into those little baggies, it's time to actually get started. So, first off, part of my base mix for me is, there's my cat, part of my base mix for me is a bird food. It is a Versailles Laga pigeon food. I believe the Champion mix, there's like 3 or 4 that you can use. I use, I think, Black Label Champion mix. But yeah, so I do about 4 scoops of that. I put the first scoop in already, but yeah, I do 4 scoops of this. Here it goes. I like it because it's fortified ingredients, and it has a lot of grains and stuff in it. It does have corn. Corn is actually fine for rats. The reason corn is considered not okay is because it can go moldy, but only if it's not stored correctly, which isn't really a problem here. I keep my bag in my freezer downstairs. So yeah. And then my second ingredient is, this is still part of my base mix, but my second ingredient is barley. You will find that barley is very, very much a favorite in the Shunamite diet groups, but I usually use pearl barley, and I do about 2 scoops of that per mix. So next up I have buckwheat, which is right there. The buckwheat is another grain. This is still part of my base mix. I do 1 scoop of the buckwheat. Next up is the rice. You can do all kinds of rice. This time I'm going with jasmine rice, but last time I did wild rice, and next time I'm probably going to do brown rice. I just like to mix it up where I can, and I'm doing 1.25 scoops of the rice. This is, again, another grain. The base mix is about 11 scoops, so my pigeon food and all the grains are the base mix, and that is part of it. Next up, I have couscous. I believe this is Israeli couscous. I'd have to look at the bottle again, sorry. But I do only about half a scoop of that. Next up, I have bulgur. This is coarse bulgur. You can also get fine bulgur, but the coarse bulgur is a lot easier for them to get a hold of. This is still my grains, still the first 11 scoops. I will let you know when it's not, but you can kind of see the stuff in the background that I'm going to be using for that portion. And for the last part of my base mix, the grains, we have popping corn. This I do 1.25 scoops of. It for a long time wasn't their favorite part of the mix, but when I started adding other things, I remember when I added red lentils, they started to love the popping corn, so I still use it. And now I'm going to be moving on to the protein portion of the mix as soon as the scoop's in. And for the protein, I use dog food. You can use other things. This is the dog food I use personally, which was recommended on that Facebook group. But some people do insect-based protein, so they either get insect-based dog food or they get dried worms. I've seen dried shrimp in it as well. I prefer to just use the dog food because sometimes the other ingredients can be a little hard for me to get a hold of, and also the dried worms smell terrible. Oh, I do 2 scoops of that. Now I am moving on to the processed grains portion of my mix. This is a total of 5 scoops. I do pastas and cereals. As you can see right here, I'm opening the bag of pasta. For this time, I went with the veggie spirals or garden state twirls, I think is what it says. But it's veggie pasta basically. But you can do pretty much any kind of pasta. I switch this up every single time because I enjoy it. One of my favorites is like the puka shell looking pastas. I can't remember what they're called because it has like a really great sound when you're scooping it. But in general, the rats don't care what pasta it is. They just like pasta. For my next scoop, I do total. This is very fortified. It has a lot of vitamins and stuff in it, which is why I like to use it, but it's also high in sugar. In general, you want the sugar to be pretty low, and total has higher sugar, so I only do 1 scoop of the total, even though they do love it. Of course they do. It has a lot of sugar in it. Next up, I have the corn flakes. This is a pretty good option as well. A lot of people use it. It's a little lower in sugar. In general, if you want lower sugared cereals, go with the off-brand. This time I didn't. Sometimes I do. But yeah, I do about 1.5 scoops of the corn flakes. And for the last of my processed grains, I use rice checks. Again, this is going to be another 1.5 scoops so that everything will be brought up to 5 scoops total. And I'm dropping checks everywhere, but yeah, there it goes. And now we come to the veggie portion of the mix. So this is 1 scoop. You can either dehydrate your own vegetables. There's also something called canine caviar, which you can get on Amazon that you can use. I personally get Frontier Soup Mix, dried cranberries, and then the Rosewood Naturals from Walmart, and I mix all that together. As you can see, a lot of the herbs and stuff from the Rosewood Naturals, and that's what I use. And for the last official scoop, we have seeds. So there's a lot of seeds you can use. This time I'm using pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, and I think sesame seeds are in there too. Sometimes I also use sunflower seeds. I mix up the seeds a lot, honestly. Oh no, it's not sesame, it's hemp. That little container has like 3 seeds in it. But you can get a blend of seeds on Amazon that works really well for this specific thing. And the last bit is the extras where you get to add some fun stuff. So for me, I add banana chips and coconut. It is less than a scoop. I genuinely just do a handful total. So here is my unsweetened banana chips that I just try to break up a little bit. And here is the unsweetened coconut that I use. You want nothing that adds sugar. Some people do like protein-based things. I've seen people do the dried shrimp as their extra bit. Some people do almonds. This time I'm just going with the banana chips and the coconut because I know my rats love those. And that's it. So the next portion is where you just mix. You just mix, 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 mix. And that's it. I will continue to fill this container up. Like, this container will be completely full by the time I'm done. For me, this lasts about 12 weeks. But yeah, that is, there it goes. Yeah, aesthetically pleasing. Mine lasts about 12 weeks, but some people like to do it week by week. It's really just up to you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. All the fun stuff down below. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!